Hello, lovely Libras. This is your reading for the week of April 21st or whenever it resonates with you. Again, it won't be for every Libra because it's for the collective. The image that I got for you is difficult to describe because it's one of those almost cartoon type images or dream type images that you get that don't make sense but sort of do. So the image is this. I see a pair of pliers and I see a tooth being pulled, and it's a lower molar on the left-hand side. It's the first big molar that's being pulled. But of course, because it's like a cartoon image and there's no blood, it's all very sanitized and it doesn't look like a real tooth, okay? But the image that's happening is as this tooth is coming up, with it comes an entire story, an entire history of something. So what this feels to me is that something is going to be exposed in a way that you understand something. So I don't know if this is you forcing an issue where somebody communicates in a way where you really understand what they're saying and you finally get at the truth, or if this is you finally understanding something about yourself, your life, your story, your history. But now what shifts as this is happening, because I'm seeing it literally like little images of people and places and things that are trailing off after the root of this truth. Again, truth, that's interesting. Again, it's an image that is created that is not realistic in any way. But then what happens, what switches is now it's no longer a tooth that is being lifted. It is a stone. And the stone is on a bridge. And the bridge is a stone bridge, and it is leading from the outside over a moat, and you are in the castle. And you're lifting this up. As you're lifting this up, what you're doing is you're taking away what is shaky. It was a stone that was shaky. It was not solid. So it was making the bridge from your castle to the outer world and the exchange back and forth not as safe or as comfortable as it could be. So as I put the two together, what this says to me is, for some Libras, there is going to be an expose of something that was important, that was real, that is part of your history, or the history of somebody that you care about. Now, this might be a history that you have with somebody, but the fact that it is a tooth, which is coming from the mouth and is about expression and communication, and it's about a history of something. To me, it's about something being spoken, something being expressed, something coming to light. The fact that now it's not just a tooth, but it's the guardrail, basically. It's the guard stone, one of the guard stones on the guardrail of the bridge to your castle, says to me, this is something that has been unstable for a while or has created some kind of instability for you within your castle. Some sense of a lack of safety or belonging, or an ability or a safety that allows you to really move back and forth from the world to your safe place. And what's happening, of course, is now it's coming to light and it can be fixed. So as I'm looking at that, I'm also seeing, it's very, very interesting because the castle that you're in, it's gorgeous. Like it's a, you think of castles often as being old and dark, but this is beautiful blonde stone and it's almost golden in the sunlight. And there's a sense of, I'm not actually seeing the castle, I'm seeing around the castle, but it's got a view over beautiful green fields and it's in the sunlight and it's beautiful. It's got this quality of warmth and spaciousness and that sense that if I were to turn around, I would see, well, why don't I turn around and tell you what I see? As I turn around, what I see is a really gentle, quiet courtyard with a sense of real privacy, but at the same time very vibrant and easy, smooth. There are obviously different quadrants to this castle, but where you might imagine that it's going to be high and with turrets and things like that, everything is accessible. That's the cool thing about this castle, is everything is accessible. Nothing is too high, nothing is too far. You don't have any scary stairs to go up. Everything is accessible and everything is welcoming. Some of the walls that have smaller windows, they're guarded, they're protected, but there is access. And that's the beautiful thing. And now there's not only access within the courtyard itself, but there's access from the world, because that shaky thing has been taken care of on the bridge. What does this mean? To me, this means that whatever has come to light, whatever history is being understood, exposed, expressed, healed, it is now allowing you to be able to feel safe in your castle, feel safe moving to and from your castle, being able to have boundaries. It's allowed for a healing to take place where you now can claim your place. You can claim your castle in the sun with this beautiful vista and this beautiful land. The cards that you get 2 cards that say to me about childhood. You get why not, who says, and you also get trying versus doing. And the reason I say I feel like that has to do with childhood is because trying is something that we're told as children to do. Well, just try. Just give it a shot. Just try it. Try it. You'll like it. In whatever way. It's not, okay, 5-year-old, go do it. Not usually. But the why not and the who says is very often where we take those historical voices and we put them in our heads, and they become part of our operating system. So I look at this and I go, okay, the tooth, the old story, the history, the bridge from the core to the outside world, that can also be accessed from your deep self, your higher conscious mind, and your personality. It could be perceived as that as well. And some of you may be experiencing that becoming more evident to you and therefore more safe in the world. That's another way I could approach this. But what you are also getting here is you are getting the card of forgiveness. So when I look at that with the other cards, that especially the why not, who says, which I associate very much with the ingrained lessons that we've taken on as kids, that's where I think the forgiveness needs to come in. But it's not just forgiveness of how life has gone, things that may have happened. It's also, so seriously, Libra, forgiveness of yourself for not having been able to do things better than you would have liked. And one of the things that I find with Libras, my Libras, is so often you find it difficult to just let yourself enjoy life, to see that pleasure in and of itself is valuable and honorable. And you're actually being asked to experiment, try doing things differently, and to really let yourself create whatever structure you need, whatever discipline you need to incorporate the awareness that pleasure is valuable, that it is honorable, that it is noble. Because it feels like for a lot of you, the old story that was hidden under that tooth, that made the bridge shaky, is very much about the old way of doing things, which is interesting because it's an ancient castle, right? But it's about the old story of how you've been doing things. And this is very much about the new story about how you can do things, okay? It's your castle in the sun. It's when you start saying, yeah, why not? Why can't I? Who says? Who says I can't have pleasure? The thing is, you very often, okay, here's the thing. Okay, now you get certainty and doubt. So you've got Yeah, okay. Certainty, doubt, trying versus doing. Why not, who says, and then you got forgiveness, type 1 and type 2. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that are about conflicts or opposites. So I feel as though this is about you resolving something in yourself. This is, I have to go with that too. But you're also being reminded here very strongly that Libra, sometimes what you can do is you can forget the fact that you have control over your mind. And you feel like because your mind thinks it, that it's the truth and that you have to fight against it, as opposed to saying, I think I'm going to change my mind about that. I have the power to change my mind about that because my mind is only playing back to me what other people have said, what I have incorporated from the past. Just because it's a thought does not mean it's true. And I'm going to choose to operate on that. I'm going to choose to operate on that. And then you get the, okay, now you also get loss or liberation. So you've got another card that is two opposites there. And then you've got the love card. So the love card, of course, is speaking about love, that energy, that divine love, that unconditional love. That is an energy that radiates from our being. That is the divine spark in every single one of our cells. And it's connected to our deep and high heart. The loss or liberation card for me is perfect. And then you get faith. Oh my God. Libras, you can't get it any better than this. Loss or liberation. It's okay. Well, yeah, sometimes you have to give up the ideas that you have, that the way your mind working is actually working in your benefit. And now you can change the way your mind works. So sometimes you got to give some stuff up in order to get liberated. But you do that by dealing with your mind, by forgiving the past, by challenging what people have said to you and what you have taken in as your reasons. Take a chance on being uncertain, because then you will end up with where you need to be. And remember the nature of love, loving, and that when you are operating in pleasure, you are experiencing more of that divine love. Take a chance on doing it differently. You've got the experimentation card, and now you've got do it big. So Libra, this is spectacular. This is a spectacular spread for you. Listen, now, of course, this is not going to be for everybody, and it's not going to be everybody who's at this stage as I'm doing this, which is why I say when it resonates for you. But what you have to know, Libra, is that you have this energy around you to be able to work in this way. You have so much more strength than you give yourselves credit for. You think your strength comes just from working hard and barreling through and white knuckling it, but it's more. And really, you can decide that it's going to be. And when that is your intention, even if you need help to be able to get there, you're going to be finding it a lot faster and a lot more easily when your intention is, I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to change the aspects of my mind that are not working for me. I'm going to choose my own beliefs, and I'm going to choose the beliefs that are self-loving, that are allowing me to enjoy and really live and work in a deep, heartfelt pleasure. And I'm willing to change things and experiment in order to do that. That is your choice. And choice is where your power is, Libra. And you have choice, okay? You have got this amazing castle. So, you know what? I wouldn't mind living in that one myself. Thank you, and take care.